Not content with just releasing some of the best rated and best-selling games ever made, Rockstar Games has influenced and permeated pop culture like few before it. To celebrate its 25th anniversary, as well as the unveiling of the new Grand Theft Auto, here's a look at the history of Rockstar. A note before we begin, Rockstar has published and released way more games than you think, so in the interest of time, I'll be focusing on the big boys, which means I won't be calling out stuff like Austin Powers' Oh Behave for the Game Boy Color. I know, I'm sorry, but hey, maybe in a different video. In the early 90s, two brothers, Dan and Sam Houser, began working at BMG Entertainment in London, a multimedia group best known for its record label. As the company diversified, it launched an interactive division, and it wasn't long before the Housers transferred over, with Sam being head of development. Meanwhile, in Edinburgh, the team at DMA Design, best known for its work on Lemmings, was cooking up something new. Race and Chase, a top-down game of cops and robbers, had been in the works for a few years, but the team was struggling. During playtesting, they determined that playing as the police simply wasn't fun, and the desire to create a dynamic, reactive game world was causing nothing but headaches. The game changed over time. Instead of playing as the police, you now played as a lowly criminal, climbing the ladder to get bigger and better scores. Race and Chase was violent, irreverent, and it turned out to be exactly what the Housers were looking for. While BMG kept trying to cancel its release, the brothers signed the game and renamed it. Grand Theft Auto was released in the UK in 1997, and it immediately courted controversy for its violence and was even discussed in Parliament. While the game was a relative commercial success, BMG decided to shut down its interactive division, which might have been the end of the story if Take-Two Interactive, the burgeoning game publisher and distributor, hadn't picked up BMG's assets for a meager $9 million in March 1998. The Housers, along with other BMG executives, Terry Donovan, Gary Foreman, and Jamie King, moved over to New York, and the work began. In December of that year, Rockstar Games was officially founded as Take-Two's high-end publishing label. In 1999, Rockstar released two expansions for GTA made by the team at Alternative Reality Technologies, which was renamed to Rockstar Canada, in a basement under a fruit shop. Take-Two bought DMA Design, who went on to release Grand Theft Auto 2 in October 1999. GTA 2 went on to become the first of many Rockstar titles to ship 1 million copies at launch.
We're outside the Sony store at Metreon on the very eve of the PlayStation 2 launch.
The PlayStation 2 launched in North America in October 2000, and Rockstar was ready to ride the next-gen wave, with Smuggler's Run and Midnight Club Street Racing ready to go on launch day. While critical reception on both was mixed, both were successful in terms of sales, and fans waited with bated breath while Rockstar prepped its next hotly anticipated release. In October 2001, Grand Theft Auto 3 launched and became the biggest PS2 game of all time. Well, that was until October 2002 when Vice City released, and then that became the biggest PS2 game of all time, a feat it held until San Andreas released in October 2004, a record it still holds.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Rockstar was on fire in the early 2000s, with smash hit after smash hit dominating the charts and our TVs. Its success meant that it was able to establish and acquire a stable of studios worldwide. And alongside the GTA releases, Rockstar also published games like Max Payne and Max Payne 2, as well as sequels to Smuggler's Run and Midnight Club. But in 2003, the company would hit headlines once again, this time for its controversial new release, Manhunt. Manhunt's levels of gore and violence earned it a mature rating, and it made tabloid and political fodder, leading it to even being banned in some countries. 2004 saw the release of the Western game Red Dead Revolver. The game had originally been announced by Capcom and was in development at Angel Studios in San Diego. Its development was troubled, however, and Capcom deemed Red Dead Revolver unplayable. Take-Two purchased Angel Studios in 2002, renamed it Rockstar San Diego, and revived the game. Also in 2004, Rockstar would dip its toes into the movie business, producing the movie Football Factory. They'd later produce other movies like The Introduction, an animated film that teed up the events of San Andreas, and a documentary called Sunday Driver. In 2005, PlayStation launched its PSP handheld, and Rockstar supported the console with Midnight Club 3, which became its biggest launch title. Liberty City Stories would release a few months later and would take the crown as the highest-selling PSP game of all time. But Rockstar also found itself in some trouble in 2005 when hackers discovered some residue code in San Andreas that unlocked a sex minigame. The scandal, and boy did it become a scandal, became known as Hot Coffee, and the game was reclassified as adult only, which severely limited where it could be sold. Rockstar recalled the game, removed the offending files, and re-released it. It wouldn't be the last time Rockstar's titles would hit the headlines. A game based on the 1979 movie The Warriors also launched in 2005, and Rockstar ended up being sued by actor Roger Hill for using his likeness in the game. In 2006, Bully, a game about a rebellious teen who's sent to the illustrious Bulworth Academy, along with undertaking typical school activities like going to class and making friends. It was controversial among parents for allegedly glorifying bullying, and in some regions, it wasn't even called Bully, it was renamed Canis Canem Edit? Couldn't tell you what any of that means. 2007's Manhunt 2 was denied certification in the UK by the BBFC, classed as adult only in the US, and outright banned in other countries. Rockstar censored the game in order to get it released. Rockstar debuted Rage, its new next-gen game engine, in 2006, not with a GTA release, but in Rockstar Games Presents Table Tennis for the Xbox 360 and the Nintendo Wii. At E3 2007, Rockstar and PlayStation teased a new exclusive project, which ended up being revealed in 2009 as Agent, a Cold War stealth game. With nothing more than a logo and some short descriptors to go on, fans were excited for this new Rockstar North production, which ultimately never came as developers shifted onto GTA projects. While Rockstar renewed the trademark for the title a couple of times, it was declared abandoned in 2018. In early 2008, EA Games put a bid to buy Take-Two Interactive with a $2 billion all-cash offer. However, Take-Two rejected the bid, and 2008 turned out to be quite the year for Rockstar. While mainline GTA releases had slowed, handheld ones were still launching, like Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories. In April 2008, Grand Theft Auto 4 was released for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
And some months later, on PC. It was, of course, a massive success and was supported by meaty DLC expansions, The Lost and the Damned, and The Ballad of Gay Tony. Rockstar launched its Social Club, an online component where players could add friends, register their games, and more, alongside GTA 4's console launch. A spiritual successor to Red Dead Revolver, Red Dead Redemption launched in 2010. At the time, it was the most expensive game ever made, and it was an enormous success, selling over 23 million copies, followed by a big expansion, Undead Nightmare, and frequent updates to its online mode. It wasn't free from controversy, however, with accusations of crunch culture stemming from an open letter from spouses of Rockstar employees. A year later, Rockstar and Team Bondi released L.A. Noire, starring Mad Men's Aaron Stanton as Cole Phelps. It utilized cutting-edge performance capture technology to get across facial performances, so players could question suspects and determine their guilt, which, like Red Dead Redemption before it, also underwent public scrutiny for crunch culture. L.A. Noire was also Team Bondi's only game the studio had made. In 2012, Rockstar Studios released Max Payne 3. Unlike the previous two games, 3 was not developed by Remedy Entertainment. Instead, it was made by Rockstar itself. In 2022, Remedy announced it was remaking Max Payne 1 and 2 with investment from Rockstar. But it was 2013 where Rockstar would go stratospheric with the release of Grand Theft Auto 5. Featuring 3 protagonists that could be quickly swapped between in the open world, the huge city of Los Santos to explore, and an online mode that would be supported for years to come, it was a smash hit. It took 3 days for the game to earn $1 billion. GTA Online was and is a juggernaut, with heists, plenty of downloadable content, as well as story missions being released over the years. After the launch of GTA 5, the BBC made a docudrama about the company called The Game Changers, starring Daniel Radcliffe as Sam Hauser and Bill Paxton as professional Rockstar hater Jack Thompson. It wasn't great, prompting Rockstar to tweet the greatest takedown of all time. Was Basil Brush busy? What exactly is this random made-up bollocks? Oh yeah, they're British. The long-awaited follow-up to Red Dead Redemption finally launched in October 2018. And despite the glowing reviews and high sales figures, it also caught flack for further accusations of crunch. In May 2019, Rockstar launched its own game launcher alongside the game's multiplayer mode, Red Dead Online. After an extended break following the release of Red Dead Redemption 2 in early 2020, Take-Two announced that Dan Houser would be leaving the company. He would eventually set up a new video game company, Absurd Ventures. Since the very beginning, Rockstar has championed music in its games, from curating iconic radio stations in Grand Theft Auto, partnering with bands like Health to do their soundtracks, including the Max Payne 3 soundtrack, and even in 1999, launching its own club night, Rockstar Loft. 2021 saw the launch of Circo Loco Records, a partnership between Rockstar and Circo Loco, a global dance company. Also in 2021 saw the release of Grand Theft Auto: The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, which was unfortunately anything but. The collection was developed by Grove Street Games, who had previously been responsible for porting GTA games to mobile. The original versions of the games were removed from online stores like Steam, and the new games were missing iconic music tracks, and updates to the visuals were, well, interesting to say the least. Following years of accusations of a frat boy workplace, news broke in 2022 that Rockstar had been working on changing its company culture in order to be a more progressive and compassionate workplace, and determined to improve working conditions for its employees. In early 2022, following the reveal of a PS5 and Xbox Series update for GTA 5, Rockstar finally confirmed that work on the next Grand Theft Auto was underway. But in September of that year, the company's internal systems were hacked, and numerous clips from the game were leaked online. The company officially announced in November 2023 that the game would be fully unveiled the following month. So, there we have it, the history of the first 25 years of Rockstar Games. With a new GTA on the horizon, there's sure to be many more. So, subscribe to GameSpot so you don't miss out. Thank you for watching.